Hello, my name is Sylvie, and this is part 2 of traditional drop-in seat pad restoration. Now, I'm going to show you how to web this frame. This is a drop-in seat frame, which I have taken the tacks off in a previous video. Right now, this is actually a particularly wide frame to your standard chair seat pad. Your normal standard seat pad will be from here to here, and so this is quite an exceptionally large one, which means we're going to need 4 strips of webbing to go along the width of it, and probably 3 along this side, because that's your normal standard size seat pad that way. But yep, so 4 along there, and as a rule this area here mustn't be any wider than the actual tape. So we've got to fit in, you can fit as many as you like in there, as long as this area here is no wider than the tape. Okay, so to help us get this, the 4 in there equally in there, we're going to lay the old pieces that I took out on top in place where we're going to put our strips, and I have decided to sellotape them on for this demonstration so I can show you what I've done, or what I am going to do rather, and how I'm going to mark them. So I think one there, one there, and one there. You can see the top of it we're looking at, actually. They're not bad, they're quite even, aren't they? Spaced, and they're no wider than the tape. So I'm going to mark that now with my chalk. I'm going to mark the middle of them. One there, like that. Whoops, a daisy. And then, yeah, one there in the middle of there, like that. One there. It's important you get the middle. It's easier to see where you can see where to put them, you see. And the bottom ones, let's do that as well. It's going to fan. Be like a fan shape because of the shape of the actual frame. I'll show you when I pick that up, and in fact if I sellotape them as well, it's going to be easier for me to show you. That's it. On there as well. This is just for marking. Right. Don't fall off, please. And it fell off. And that. One there. And there. They don't like sticking. Okay, can you see where it fans? It fans to the shape of the wood slightly. Let's walk over there like that. Then I'm going to mark the bottom now. Let's mark the bottom. In the middle of them, remember? In the middle, in the middle, in the middle. Okay, let's take them off. We're not going to use, you never use bits and pieces, because we're going to use a web stretcher to stretch it on. You can get these equipment from Martin's Upholstery. I mean, I've had this a long time. This is an extra wide one. Usually they're a lot narrower than that. Or you can get them narrow, which are the right size. This is an actual for wide webbing. Having said that, I've never seen wide webbing, only on old bits of furniture. Not sure if Martins do it. And I'm going to use the tacks that came out of the old pad, because there's nothing wrong with them. They're very strong. You use the tacks you actually use are 16mm improved ones. And when you mean by improved means, because you can get fine and improved. Fine tacks and improved tacks. Improved tacks are wider and they've got a bigger head, a larger head on them. Whereas the finer ones, I don't think I've got any fine ones in here at all there, have a smaller head. These are quite fine actually. I think they're 10mm fine, these ones. And they've got a smaller head. Right. Let me see. That's that there. And to mark this side, because we're probably only going to, by the looks of it, we're going to only need 3 in there. But let's check it and see by putting our strips on that way, first of all. Will we need 3 or will we need 4? We will need 3. Yeah. So, right, you can see that there. So I'm going to mark that. In fact, there's another way of doing it. Instead of doing that, if you're just doing 3 and you need to find the centre, get your flexible tape measure and you measure the inside of the frame, not the outside, because as you can see, to get the centre, this is much narrow there at the top and it's wider at the bottom. So you're not going to get it centre if you do measure the outside. So you measure the inside because that's the bit we're going to be webbing. I put my thumb there, and what I do is I fold the tape measure in half to where I've measured it to, put it back on there from the top to there, and then you get your centre. I'll then mark my centre. There's my centre there. Okay, let's rub that off. Now I'm going to measure from the centre to the edge to get the centre of that measurement from that area to there. Using my tape measure, my flexible one. Right, okay. 6 inches. I know that means 3. Half of that is 3, but look, we put it on there like that. It's just a lot quicker. Okay. Do the same one here. Fold it in half. Same on the other side. The full length. Fold that in half. Place it back on there again. Mark it. I always find it better to use chalk because you can rub it out easier. You start using pen and pencil and you can't take it off as easy as you can with chalk. You just rub it off if you've made a mistake. And the same again there. Right, so we're going to start webbing. You never cut it off and do it singly. You always keep it on the roll. So I'm going to put that down there because it makes it a lot easier if it's down there. And you place this, the first one we're going to do in the middle of here. Shall I do it in the middle? Yeah, let's do it there. And you want this to be, can you see? And also, can you see where the wood's been splitting? Because it's a hard wood, there's some splits in there. That's due to, as you can see, it's in the line as well. That doesn't help. But you see, it's cracking the wood. It's hard wood, that's why, and it's old, and it's hardwood becomes quite brittle. So in that case, you have to keep an eye on it. When you're banging the nails, the first nails in, you have to see whether you're going to need finer nails, because the thicker ones might be too thick for the wood, and it will just split it and take a chunk out. So in that case, also, you don't go too much on the edge, because that can take a chunk off. So you keep it fairly in the middle. Right, I'm going to put that there, like that. This is a magnetic hammer. This one's hickory, from Hickory. Yep. Right. You can buy them from Martin's Supplies. Martin's Upholstery Supplies. They're pretty good. These ones, this one's a magnetic one. This is an old one. They were never, they wasn't, this is quite old, very old, but it's not magnetic. But it has got your bit for taking tacks out with, and it's pretty good, that is. Right, so we'll place that on here like that. I probably need to do the top because let's do the top first of all. Let's do one of these first. There we go, up the top here. Well done. Right, okay, one in the middle, one there. Bang it all the way down. See, that's not raised up, so it's banged right down. And another one on the side. It's noisy. And here, another one there. Right, we've done that now, and then we'll bring this down, pull it tight. You never fold it. I've found a lot of people, they tend to fold that there so it's flapping, and to me it's not doing much. It needs to be pulled flat like that, and then you put two more tacks in, one there and one there, so you've got three in. That's what I've done so far, and then I'm going to put another two, one there and one there. Okay, and it's not splitting the wood, so that's good. So these nails are okay. Oops-a-daisy. So, this one's slightly bent, so we won't use that one. Okay, there we are. We've got the first one done. We're not completely done. And now we're going to stretch it with the web stretcher. Now, how you use this web stretcher? See, you've got this rebate groove in here. You can see that, yeah. Right, well that needs to be, that indicates, so you've got your frame. If you have it that way, you look at it, you think, right, the frame's got to be put on top underneath like that. All right, so that's where it's going to be resting to stretch it. So you put this, the webbing, in that way. A lot of people think it's the other way, but actually it's this way. It's so that this is in the way, and then you put this little thing inside there like that. And then let's just put it in position. Set it up. Takes a bit of time to set it up first of all. Don't fall out. That's it. Come on, come on. That's it. Now, first of all, that's it. It has to be in the way so that it grips. Helps it grip. And it has to, first of all, hope you can see that angle. It has to start off at that angle. So let's place it where we want to put it, on top of my chalk mark. Now that's it. It holds up on its own, you see. Can you see? Yes, you can. Right. Now I want to now keep that on there and hold this here. Otherwise, that's going to go. That could end up hit me in the face. So you hold that down there. At the same time, you'll be pulling this down and stretching it That's it. Whoops. Let's try again. Wow, this is awkward. Starting at that level again. I won't get this right. Like I say, it does take time to set this up first of all. And we're on a curve as well, which doesn't help. It'd been better to do that side first and then we could stretch it on properly on the straight. Anyway, hold that down. And make sure it's got the chalk mark in the middle. That's it. Usually hear it stretching. Now you have to hold it in your belly. And if you can play a tune on it, like I can, that means it's stretched sufficiently enough. So let's get 3 tacks in there while that's being stretched. In the middle. And another 2, either side. You don't let go until it's stretched. Do I want to use that one? It looks a bit bent. Because they're not perfect, these tacks. They don't come. They're called cut tacks. They're not very perfect. Right, once I've done that, still stretchy, making a tune for me. Yeah. I can take that out now that I've put them 3 tacks in. And I can cut it. Now I can cut it. So, oops, pair of scissors. Oh dear. Pair of scissors. Here's a pair of scissors. There we are. Cut it off. Fold it and put your 2 tacks in. That's it, that's the first one done. Yes, I did, I hope so. Yes, I did. Because that was in the middle there. Yeah. Right, that's the first one. Now, I wish I had the facility on here that would fast forward it, but it's not going to do that. I've got that on this phone, on this one. But what I can do is actually do all these and then come back and join the video together. So you'll be able to see it, or fast track what I've done, and then you'll see the next stage of this. So let's stop it for the moment.